In this video, I am going to introduce you to Julius Caesar and tell you how he started as an ordinary child into Rome's most powerful men. I am going to give you an intro about Julius Caesar, some information about Rome, his road to power, and struggle for power. Now, let me introduce you to Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was the leader of Rome a long time ago. The reason why he is still remembered and esteemed is because of his power, victorious wars, and the number of lands he ruled. Julius Caesar was born in 44 BC in Rome. Now, speaking of Rome, let me introduce you to Rome. Rome is a dangerous place which allows violence. In the day and in the night contained violent robbery. But in the night, not a single wealthy Roman would travel without bodyguards protecting them. An example of a violent attack was in 133 BC. The opponent of Tiberius Gracchus killed him in the People's Assembly in Parliament and 300 of his supporters. Road to power. In 59 BC, Caesar became Rome's consul. A consul is someone who protects the state's citizens. All thanks to bribing people with money in order to receive a vote. You might be wondering, how do you become a consul? Well, in order to become a consul, you have to get people to vote for you, and each year 2 people get chosen. In 59 BC, Caesar and Bibulus are 2 consuls of Rome. They had to be unanimous with each other's plans, so Bibulus could stop Caesar from using his power. Caesar was thinking the same thing as well. His plan was to outwit Bibulus with his speaking skills and his popularity with the people. Fun fact, a toga decorated with a broad purple stripe was only allowed to be worn by the Romans. Raid and conquer. The senators had made Caesar the ruler of worthless fields and woodland. Furious and insulted by this, Caesar used his popularity with the people again. Surprisingly, it worked, and he was given the east coast of the Adriatic Sea and Cisalpine Gaul as well. But soon, the leader of Transalpine Gaul died, and Caesar took his land too. In 58 BC, he left Rome determined to win new lands, wealth for Rome, and a little glory for himself. In 58 BC and 54, rumors that gold, pearls, and silver existed in Britain tempted Caesar to go to Britain and take all the pearls, gold, and silver. Their first fight wasn't very successful, but Caesar returned to Britain in 54 BC with a larger army. His troops were setting up the camp. The British army gave them a surprise by running out of a wood ready to attack. Despite this, the Romans still managed to win the battle. Struggle for power. Now, Julius Caesar was more powerful and rich, and he decided it was time to fight his enemies in Rome. However, he couldn't lead his group of armed fighters into Italy. So when Caesar broke the law and went into Italy, he knew there could only be one result: war. As Caesar stepped foot on Italy, he knew he was taking a big risk. Caesar won war after war. The senators feared that Caesar was taking too much power, despite the fact that he deserved the power. They asked him to give up his army, but he refused. One of Caesar's friends, called Crassus, died in the battle, and Caesar's foe, called Pompey, was leading the army. It was now officially a battle between Caesar and Pompey.